Welcome to episode 5 of the Red Flag Sports Podcast.
This week, our topics will be our top 5 quarterbacks going into next season and coming out of this season, breakout candidates for next NFL season, and how teams can go from worst to first in their NFL division. So, for the rules for the quarterbacks, we're going to have our top 5 quarterbacks. Number 1 will get 6 points, 2 will get 5 points, 3 will get 4 points, 4 will get 3 points, 5 will get 2 points, and we will have one honorable mention, which will get 1 point. The honorable mention could be someone who's a candidate to be in other people's top 5s. We will add all the points together and do the final red flag top 5. So, Brett, who do you got for your number 1 quarterback?
I'm going to actually go from 6. So at 6, I have Lamar Jackson. If he could stay healthy, he's one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league, and he's got a pretty good arm on him too. He doesn't have a lot of receivers. Russell Wilson, he was also injured, but we all know how great Russell Wilson could be. He's at my number 5 spot. Justin Herbert has an insane cannon of an arm, and he's coming in at my 4. And also with a huge cannon of an arm, my number 3 is Josh Allen. He's insane. He has a great team. Him and Mahomes are going to be the two that are always competing in the AFC. At number 2, I have Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers is the best NFC quarterback, obviously. And we still don't know if he's going to change teams, but it seems to us like so far he's going to change or he's not going to change teams. And then number 1, I have Mahomes because Mahomes is just magical.
My honorable mention is Lamar Jackson. I think he could make top 5 if he stayed healthy and had more receivers instead of just running the ball around. At 5, I got Josh Allen. I just think he's good. Got at 4, this one's probably controversial, but I have Mahomes. I just think he could do a lot better than like last season. He did really well, and this season he wasn't as good. At 3, I got Justin Herbert. At number 2, I got Joe Burrow. He had a really good season. Number 1, I have Aaron Rodgers, and he's just the best. And he's also going to the Broncos. Calling it right now.
Okay, first off, that was the worst list I've ever
For real.
entire life. What was that?
Anyways, what your top 5, Connor?
Honorable
6.
mention, Lamar Jackson, really talented rushing quarterback, probably already better than Michael Vick at running the ball all time. He has the arm talent to be a top 3 quarterback. He just needs to get there, and it would help if he had a better receiver than Marquise Brown. At 5, I have Joe Burrow. He really played well down the stretch and in the playoffs, but he's just not better than any of the other 4 that I have above him.
Sorry for interrupting, and people don't realize that the quarterbacks that have 3 good receivers are going to have better stats. That's why you can't rank Joe Burrow at number 2.
Yeah.
I was just doing off how he performed during the season, not the stats.
Anyways, 4.
I haven't looked at stats.
At 4, I have Justin Herbert. Easily the best second-year quarterback, in my opinion, better than Burrow. He has a top 3 arm in the league. He's a good rushing quarterback, just not as good as some of the other guys. His receivers are a bit questionable. Keenan Allen might be a little overrated, and Mike Williams just isn't all that good, but he's definitely still top 5. At 3, I have Josh Allen, easily the best arm in the league. A very good rushing quarterback. Brought the Bills to the divisional round again. Just a very good quarterback. At 1 and 2, I have Rodgers and Mahomes. Those are really interchangeable, just the best 2 quarterbacks in the league.
So from bottom to top, my quarterbacks are honorable mention. I've got Matt Stafford. He won the Super Bowl. He was a lot better with the Rams. For my number 5, I've got Russell Wilson. He had a down year with the Seahawks, but coming back healthy, maybe on a new team next year, but probably not. He'll be really good next year, I think. Justin Herbert's the best quarterback out of the 2019 draft class. And
2020.
not Burrow. And then Josh Allen is competing for the number one spot. And then we have Patrick Mahomes, who could be the number one spot. It's a toss-up between my number one and him, but my number one is Aaron Rodgers, who obviously had the best season and won MVP.
With everything in and everything calculated, at number 5 for the red flags quarterbacks of the year, we have Joe Burrow with 7 points. At number 4, we have Justin Herbert with 13 points. At number 3, we have Josh Allen with 14 points. At number 2, we have Mahomes with 20. And at number 1, we have Aaron Rodgers with 24, which suits the MVP, as Rodgers was the MVP this year. Our next segment is going to be worst to first, where we discuss the teams that in each division were the worst and how they can get better for next season if possible. We're going to discuss it briefly. We can't go into super big details of this podcast would go on for hours. So first on the list is the Jets. They obviously need receivers. Their line is okay. They don't have a horrific line. Their defense
was the best tackle to come out of that class.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because Tristan Wirfs is pretty good too.
That's why I'm saying that.
But he's a right tackle.
The Jets defense, though, is
it's not bad.
It's
They're
not
losing
horrible.
Marcus
No,
May,
it's
that was
20.
the
It's
best
probably
part of their
ranked about
defense.
20. It's not the worst you can get, but it's definitely not the best. But they really do need receivers, because who are their receivers right now? Like Jamison
Elijah
Crowder.
Moore and Jamison Crowder.
Elijah Moore's
Corey,
not bad,
Corey Davis was hurt for most of the season, so
but they still need receivers. Like
Yeah.
those guys are not top 10 potential, which is really what you need to have.
Elijah Moore probably has the potential,
but he's
I
playing on
doubt
the
he
Jets. Any other opinions on that?
I have to disagree with you saying their O-line is bad.
I didn't say their own line was bad. I said
Their
O-line
run
was
blocking O-line is really good, but their pass blocking O-line is suspect.
Exactly, and that's why it's hard for Zach Wilson to be able to get what he needs, because he doesn't have a good pass line.
Also, Michael Carter breakout season next year, so
I like Michael Carter.
I said the Jets need a whole new team because their quarterbacks weren't really consistent. I don't remember how many they had.
It does. That's
Well,
because
you can't
they
just give
all
up
got
on the
hurt.
second overall pick
Yeah.
already. So,
But and then pretty sure they have a good running back, right? Or a decent running back.
He's okay.
And
yeah.
then just a whole new team for them.
No, because Zach
no.
Wilson was one of the best quarterbacks out of the draft class. He just doesn't have a good pass blocking line, and he doesn't have receivers.
and you just
have
can't give
Elijah
up
Moore,
on him.
Elijah Vera Tucker, Michael Carter. I doubt they have Marcus May next year, but they have Quinnen Williams. They don't have a awful roster.
Well, no, but Zach Wilson, like he's not a bad rookie quarterback, or he wasn't a bad rookie quarterback last year.
I mean, he wasn't good, but he'll be
that's
good.
because he had to adapt. It took him longer to adapt, but the last couple of games he played pretty well.
Well, yeah.
So the next team would be the guys who play in the same stadium, the New York Giants, probably the worst team this season. Their offense, hopefully, Kenny Golladay can get a little bit better, but aside from that, Andrew Thomas is basically their only good piece. Saquon Barkley's not been the same since he got hurt, so I think they need pretty much a whole team.
They do have Xavier McKinney.
You have to realize though that Saquon was he's not as good as whatever, but he was playing under a horrible coaching staff.
Yeah, hopefully
Like
their
going for a
offense can
quarterback
get
sneak
Coach-
on
the
third
coaching
and
should
staff
feel
nine.
doesn't
better
make him get
with
hurt.
Dable.
No, but the coaching staff does put the plays in that give you minutes, that give you your yards and all of that.
But
like
the
going
coaching staff
for-
doesn't make him get hurt.
I said that the Giants need a whole new team minus a coach, because they already found out. I think it was Brian Dabble,
Mhm.
right?
Dable.
Yeah,
Dable, yeah.
he's going to be good in for the Giants. I don't see him going. I don't see him going above 500 for the next 3 years, but I can see them starting to build up their roster. I don't know how many first round picks they have, because
They have two.
Most of these
Like,
teams that are in the
4th
bottom
and 10.
have a couple first-round picks. Because I don't remember what team the Eagles
Texans
aren't.
don't have
The Eagles aren't the worst team in their division, but they have a bunch of draft picks and they're
They have
already.
3.
Yeah, they have 3 first-round draft picks and they already don't have a bad roster as is.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was the Giants. Anybody else have anything to say about that?
Their defense isn't completely awful. They need edge, but their secondary, I mean, they're probably going to lose. Why am I blanking? James Bradbury. So it's not. It's going to get worse. But they have Xavier McKinney and Andrew Thomas, and that's really all I can say. They're
Yeah.
bad.
Well, next on our list is the Broncos. In my opinion, they just need a quarterback. They have a great defense. They have a good running back duo.
I
Sutton,
don't think Melvin Gordon's coming back.
No.
Probably not.
Still,
But
okay.
we still have Javonte Williams. who
Javonte Williams is a good running back.
could be number 1. Not now, but he could be. He could be.
You're
Najee's
stupid.
better. Anyways,
False.
not false. You're
You're
dumb.
stupid. Oh my
You are
god.
stupid. All right. Anyways, they just need a quarterback because they don't have horrible receivers. Sutton's a pretty good receiver if he had a quarterback. Noah
Yeah,
Fant
Patrick.
is a
Yeah,
decent
Fant's
tight
really
end
good.
for receiving. He's got good hands.
Tim
I
Patrick.
think
With a quarterback,
Patrick.
they'll make the playoffs. They're pretty much a perfect roster. The quarterback's just holding them back.
they're a
Yeah,
team.
we
I don't
also
know.
had-
I feel like people overrate their receiving core a lot.
They
I think
I don't know
They-
if you can make an
yeah.
argument for them having
I
a
think
single
that-
top 15 receiver.
They don't. But they have.
But
they
they're
have
top
depth.
20.
They have depth there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could make an argument for Cortland Sutton top 20 right now.
Maybe not
Anyways,
off last
the-
season, but
The Broncos will be a 10-7 team, even if they have a returning just a quarterback that isn't horrible, or even if they have a rookie quarterback, that's still they'll still get a 10-7 as long as they don't have Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock.
I think Drew Lock can do it. I have faith in him.
He
for one
did
more
almost
year.
lead them to beating the Chiefs.
You
Yeah.
guys are getting Sam Howell, so
No, actually, from everything I've read, our first choice is going to be to pursue Rodgers, and if we don't get that, it's to pursue Wilson. If we don't get him,
you're not getting Wilson. Just
You're
know
not
that.
getting either of those. Rogers.
They
How do
might
you
get
know?
Rodgers.
Nearly
You
awful.
might
How
get-
many? Hang on. How many times does Wilson have to say that he's staying in Seattle for you guys to listen?
Yeah, okay. If you guys get
I'm
any,
just saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying what I've read is
if
it's
you
going
Well,
to
guys-
be
obviously
Rodgers,
that'd
and
be
if we
their
can't get
first
Rodgers,
choice.
you guys
but they're
get-
gonna have to draft
get
somebody.
if the Broncos get any free agent quarterback, it's going to be somebody like Ryan Tannehill.
He's
I
not a
know
free
it's
agent. though.
Rodgers, and I
But
think Case
somebody
Keenum
like
was still
Ryan
around.
Tannehill.
But
They're gonna end
somebody
up with
like
they're gonna end
Tannehill.
up with Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins.
Which is
Okay.
fine because Kirk Cousins
Yeah, I know it's
isn't
Kirk Cousins,
bad.
not Case Keenum.
So for the
But-
team we've already mentioned, the Seahawks, what can they do to get better, Connor?
Connor, just shut up
O
about him.
line and corner. Our O line played awful last year. We drafted Trey Brown last year, but he got hurt, so we didn't really get to see him. But he was playing real well before he got hurt. And then Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs got hurt, so our secondary was really hurt. But you can't really base a whole season off a defense that was injured for most of it. So I think we'll be back to playoff
Yeah.
contention next season, especially if we get a better O line. But we don't have a first round pick.
Well,
so
I
don't really
still
know.
think even without a first round pick, all Seahawks need to make the playoffs are Wilson being healthy and a good O line. Now you guys are kind of screwed over because you have like one of the best divisions. The Cardinals have a good team, the Rams have a good team, and the 49ers have a good team too. So the Seahawks, they definitely need an O line though. They'll have to pick up free agents. I don't know what their salary cap is.
I heard something that Brandon Scherf wanted out. So if we could go get Brandon Scherf, I'd be happy with that.
You guys need a don't you like really need a center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Seahawks.
I'm not sure
were-
why, but we didn't even start our best center last year. We didn't start in Poche, but Poke. I don't even know how to say it. But he's not that bad. But we didn't even start him.
The Seahawks were one of the top 3 most injured teams last season. So to get all their good players back, starters, good depth back, that'll really help and get Wilson back up to speed. They could be back in the playoffs next year.
And it sucks. It honestly sucks that they didn't get that they don't have a pick this year, because with everybody getting injured, they basically tanked for a pick.
But yeah, then they
Well,
don't.
But they don't get a pick.
We traded our first last year and this year for Jamal Adams, and he got hurt. So like,
Yeah. Anyways, going to the best division in the AFC North. The Ravens were the worst team, but they were in playoff contention already. They just need to
they're not even the worst team in their division.
No.
No.
It's going to be the Saints next or not the Saints, the Steelers
The
next.
Browns. Or
No.
the Steelers.
The Steelers are going to be worse.
Yeah.
They
I
just
think
need
it's
to keep Lamar. For the Ravens, they just need to keep Lamar healthy, and they need
Yeah.
they need receivers.
Yeah,
all I
it'll
can
be Steelers at the
Mitch-
bottom, Browns third, then Ravens and Bengals will be in the.
I think the
I think-
Bengals will be below the Ravens.
Well,
I don't know.
They
I'd
could
like
be
to see
either
them draft a
place, but they'll
corner.
both be in the playoffs. They just got screwed this year because all of the teams were pretty good. So they just need a
Would you like to see
receiver,
draft a corner, Connor?
a safety.
The Ravens. I'd like to see them draft a corner because their cornerback room was like devastated by injuries for most of it. And then
Yeah.
in the couple games Marlon Humphrey did end up playing, he got torched.
But
He
that
got
could have been
fathered
because
by Jamar Chase.
but that's also Jamar Chase, and he was in that
Oh, yeah.
to a lot of people.
So then on the other side of the conferences, the NFC North, you got the Lions. How are they going to get into the playoff spread?
I think all they really need to do, like they have a young receiver right now, and we all know Amon-Ra St. Brown can be good. They just need to let him progress. They need to up their defense a lot. They also, if they could get a better quarterback, Jared Goff isn't horrible, but he's definitely not something that you want to put your team.
The Lions are
Um,
going to draft Malik Willis, and then
Now
sit
the
him dirty.
Lions aren't even like horrible. That they're probably gonna
No.
get beat. I could see him maybe beating the Bears or the Packers if they lose Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. But
Look,
Well,
the
the
Lions.
Lions had a lot of games that they lost by like field goals or like last minute touchdowns. So they have the potential. They just have
Choking
bad
them,
luck this season.
Hang on. The
What?
Lions, they have a top 10 O line. They have a top 7 tight end. They have a top 15 running back and no receivers. So they really need to get a
Amon-Ra
receiver.
St.
besides
Brown.
We
Amon-Ra
just
that's why I
said
St. Brown.
said
Besides-
Amon-Ra St. Brown needs to progress.
Besides even then you still need a 2.
And he
I
kinda
know,
come
and that's
in, like,
why
late in the
if they
season.
were gonna do something like that, they might as well pick him up from free agency. Like I think Michael Gallup would be good.
No one wants to go play for the Lions right now. They're gonna. What if they drafted like Treylon Burks or something?
I could see that.
Ags.
Next we've got the Panthers. I think that they definitely need a quarterback because Sam Darnold is not somebody you want your team to be based around. And if Christian McCaffrey can be healthy, he's a top 5 running back. He's a top 2 receiving back, other than like Cordell Patterson. But yeah, he could be their team could be way better than what it is because Cam Newton won a game with him and Cam Newton sucks. So they just need a quarterback for sure. Their defense is already elite. It's top 5.
Elite? What?
Top 5 defense. The Panthers have a top 5 defense.
I don't know, but they definitely need O line. Their O
O-line
line is god
quarterback.
awful.
O-line quarterback. Healthy CMC.
There's
Yeah,
really
DJ Moore's top off.
no way. I think they can rank higher in their playoff. I mean, than their division, but I don't know if they'll get into the playoffs. They have a really mediocre team, no matter how big, unless they just scratch everything and start over. They're
But I'm
gonna have a
telling you.
mediocre team next year.
I think they could be second in their division if CMC is healthy and they get a quarterback.
Who are they going to get that'll help them? That'll
could
help.
draft
Jimmy
someone.
Garoppolo. He already
There's
has
not a-
2
there-
rings.
okay.
He already
There's not
has
a-
2 rings.
Shut up. There's not a single quarterback in this draft that I would trust to start day one.
No.
I'm not saying drafting one. I'm saying
That's what
coming
Steflik
up out of
said.
free
That's
agency.
what
That's
don't
why I'm
follow
saying
college
that they're
football,
not
so
going
I
to
don't
be
know
able to
much
find
about
anybody to
anybody.
fix all their roster problems. And so
Mhm.
they're going to be better, but they're still going to be mediocre.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for the final team, we've got the Jaguars. How can they fix all their many problems, Brett?
The Jaguars don't have a horrible defense, to be honest with you. Their O-line is pretty mediocre. It's not the worst, to be honest with you. Trevor Lawrence needs to progress. They didn't really have any healthy receivers.
No.
Laviska Shenault could be good.
BJ Chark was hurt, and then they were
BJ
just
Chark is,
double marking
I think
him.
he's a free agent this year, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, they really need their receivers to be healthy, and I think they could go if their receivers are healthy, they're a 7-10 team.
More like 5-12, but
No,
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so
I mean they do have a pretty good running back duo. But that's
Yeah.
if I'm James Robinson, I'm trying to get out of there. But
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but James Robinson is pretty good, and
That's
they
why I
had to
said
deal
I'm
with
trying to get out.
deal with Urban Meyer too.
yeah.
Okay, they won more games with Urban Meyer than without him.
That's because James Robinson was hurt, wasn't he?
No,
He got hurt one of the
he
games.
got hurt, but that was like towards like the last 2 games.
Still, that it would have helped him a lot.
So that wraps up our worst to first segment. Next up is our breakout candidates. What is your most liked breakout candidate, Alex?
Let me look at my notes. Okay. This might be not a breakout candidate because he had a good season, but I think Javonte Williams, if what I hear, okay, just let me
You're
talk.
so biased. Oh my god.
Biased Broncos fan.
No, I think he'll have an extremely good season because as a backup running back and like he didn't have as much playing time as Melvin Gordon.
Look,
No,
you
never
can't
mind.
say he was
This
the
is
backup
stupid.
if he got the same amount of playing time as the number 1.
He
He
did.
didn't.
Yes, he
No,
did.
he didn't.
It was like a 43-7 or 43-57.
It was like a 50-50 split.
It was
It was
maybe
not.
he might have got like
Hang on, I'm looking this up.
20 more snaps than him all season.
It was pretty close.
Yeah. Anyways, I had 3 because I thought we were doing 3. I didn't know we were just doing 1. I think
we're gonna do more, but that was his most liked one.
My most liked one would be Gabriel Davis. He had 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs. Now, he of course has to compete with Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders said he might retire, so
And
So-
Knox. Dallas Knox.
Yeah, so
David-
he's not getting a lot of catches, but he is really good with his hands. He has great. I wouldn't say great, but he's pretty good with route running. He's pretty good with catching. He just doesn't get a lot of targets, and when he does get targets, he definitely shows why he deserves to be a better receiver. I honestly don't think that he's going to. I think he's going to break out next season because they'll use him more. But if not, that if he ever is a free agent, try to get out of there because if they don't use him, they're stupid.
Me, I'm excited about Rashad Bateman. I was really high on him going into the draft last
I was about to say Rashad
year.
Penny.
What?
I said I thought you were about to say Rashad Penny.
No. Rashad Bateman was from Minnesota University, and he had a few 1,000-yard receiving seasons there, and he was the best receiver in the draft class, in my opinion. On the edge, I had Trevor Lawrence, who was the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck, and he kind of underperformed this season, but can't blame him because of the coach. And then for my third one, I also had Kwity Paye, who was a monster at Michigan and he's going to have a ton of sacks next year now that he's used to the Colts defense.
Okay, now I got a few of these. I'm just gonna list them off and then I'll explain. So I got Irv Smith Jr., Donovan Peoples-Jones, Gabriel Davis, Laviska Shenault, Rashad Penny, obviously, And then there's some more, but I'm just gonna keep it at 5 for now. Irv Smith, he was hurt all last year. I just think he's gonna be a good tight end, especially in like a heavier passing offense. They targeted Tyler Conklin quite a lot, so they're gonna do the same with Irv Smith.
Especially if Kirk Cousins stays in Minnesota, because Kirk Cousins doesn't have a huge arm.
And Irv Smith is better than Tyler Conklin. And then to Donovan Peoples-Jones, the Browns receiver. Jarvis Landry's probably leaving. Who else do they have currently besides Jarvis Landry? Rashad Higgins, he's not good. Donovan Peoples-Jones is one of the most underrated receivers in the league. He's a very good deep threat, real fast, decent hands, good route running. Yeah, he's just gonna be good next year. I can see Laviska Shenault in kind of the Deebo Samuel type role. He's a good runner as well as like short passing game receiver. So if they just utilize him like that, he can be good.
He'd be good on a team like the Colts.
Yeah. And then Rashad Penny, he played real well at the end of the season. And if he can just stay healthy, he can repeat that for all of next season.
So who are your other two, Brett?
I also had Trey Lance. I honestly think he's probably better than Jimmy G, but they didn't start him. I think they now that Jimmy G is going to be gone, his contract's up, I'm pretty sure they're going to utilize Trey Lance. Trey Lance has I honestly think he's going to be better in so many different ways and add a new explosive role to their roster, because that was really their only weak point was Jimmy Garoppolo. They have one of the best receivers in the league. They have a pretty good running back duo. They have
one of the best tight ends.
Defenses. They have a good O-line too. But other than that, I also have Michael Gallup. If he goes to a new team, they don't use him enough in Dallas. And honestly, if he's with a team like the Chiefs or something like that, where he could have a wide receiver 2 or he could honestly even be a wide receiver 1 for some teams. He's better than what people give him for. He's super underrated.
Not really.
But if Michael Gallup goes to a team like the Chiefs, he'd be a great wide receiver 2 and really break out for next season.
My other 2 were Gabe Davis. We already talked about him, but and Shenault. I agree with Connor. I think he could be like Deebo for the Jags, or if he leaves and goes somewhere else, he could do wonders too.
Well, that's the end of the Red Flag Sportscast episode 5. Thank you to Brett, Connor, Alex. Make sure to go like, subscribe, and comment ideas for future videos. Check out our other social medias, and we'll see you next week.